Hi, I'm Jody Hand, Mrs. Hand Painted, and thanks for joining my YouTube channel here. I have lots of watercolor tutorials, and in today's video, I'll be doing another Christmas card design for my Christmas in July Christmas card series. And this one is really fun to try out some new wet techniques and learning how to make reflections in round surfaces. This is really easy to do, and I hope you have fun painting along with me. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my upcoming tutorials. I have a whole bunch of cards in this Christmas in July series. You make sure you want to So make sure you check those out. I'll start that over. Hi everyone, I'm Jody Hand, Mrs. Hand Painted, and thanks for checking out my YouTube channel today. I have lots of watercolor tutorials on here, and this one is part of my watercolor series, Christmas in July watercolor cards. So today's tutorial is painting this fun ornament card. It's got lots of fun techniques to practice out, doing wet with the circles and for our ornaments, and we're doing some splatter and some fun backgrounds. So I hope you have fun painting along with me, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my upcoming tutorials, and check out the others in this series of watercolor cards.
I just wanted to quickly go over my supplies. I've got some Strathmore watercolor 5x7. These are I just wanted to go over my supplies really quickly. I've got some Strathmore watercolor cards, size 5x7. I'm just going to leave it flat while I paint it. And I'm going to use my Princeton Neptune round 8 brush. I've got a little circle template. Just find anything that you have, a roll of tape or something circular, bottom of a cup, anything you want to use for your ornaments. You could freehand draw them too, it doesn't really matter. I've got some Daniel Smith watercolors. Just use whatever colors you've got on hand, it doesn't really matter. This is just what I always have out on my desk. Got paper towel and my water bucket and a pencil. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to draw out just my basic little circles of where I want my ornaments to be. I'm going to do it really lightly in pencil. I'll just kind of do one right here, and then I have one kind of coming from behind it, so I'm not going to draw the full circle. I'll just do the part that's right behind it. And then we can do another one, kind of just like a little trio of ornaments here. Okay. Now, to start, I'm going to take some clean water. I'm going to do this first ornament in the front, and I'm just going to fill that in with clean water. And I think I had a tiny bit of red still in my brush, so I guess I'll do a red ornament here in the front. All right, so I've got some permanent red deep I think I'll use for this one. And I'm just going to just drop that in. And I want a little bit of a reflective area right in here, so I'm not going to fill that all the way in. And then we'll have a little reflected area right here too. So I'll just kind of go around the outside edge. And just let that bleed in there in the water that I put down. We'll just push the color around until we get it filled in the way that we want. So I kind of want to leave a white area here and a whitish area here, but not completely white. We just want to leave some little reflected areas. And you make sure you don't have too much water, because you will get a funny drying line, those blooms. So if you put too much water on there, you might want to pick it up with your brush and just wipe it on your paper towel if you start getting kind of like puddled up areas. All right, I'm going to rinse my brush off and kind of dry off the extra water, because I don't want to push any more water around here as I'm moving this color. I just want to just move that paint around. You can pick some up by having that wet brush and wiping it on your paper towel if you get too much in a certain spot. I mean, you won't be able to get all of it off, but you'll be able to clean enough to give yourself a nice little reflected area. All right, so I think I'll do a green and a yellow ornament back here. So again, I'm going to take clean water. And if this isn't all the way dry yet, you may want to just wait, or if you're impatient like me, you can just dry it with your hair dryer or your heat tool. I'm just going to try and go right up to the edge of that without touching it. so that I don't bleed any of my red into this circle. Okay, got water in there now. And I'm going to do, let's see, I've got some sap green here. Let's just do that. And again, I'm going to try to follow the same white areas because my light would be coming from the same source. I'm just going around the outside edge and letting that color just bleed into there. I'm just leaving the teeniest little bit of an edge there so I don't bleed into my red. I think it's pretty dry though, so I shouldn't have to worry too much. All right, that looks pretty good. Do the next one with some clean water. I'm going to turn my paper here. I'm just going right up to that edge and making sure I don't touch it so I don't get green bleeding in here. Although it would be a very cool looking effect to have it all just blend together too if that's what you want to do. Okay, we'll do, I got like a dark yellow here. This like new gamboge color would be pretty. Okay. Maybe if you had some metallic watercolors, you could do that too. Give yourself some nice shiny ornaments. Okay. I'm already noticing on my green one I'm starting to get some blooms, and I did get a little bit over here. This particular paper is just a little more difficult to work with, I feel, than cotton paper because it just doesn't behave the same way. It doesn't absorb the water as much and it sits on the surface for a little longer. So I don't mind it though. All right, the next part will be to add the tops of our ornaments. And like a little string going up. I'm gonna go ahead and switch over. I've got a round size 1. You know what? Let me think here. Yeah. Okay. We will use just black. I've got some black here. You know what? It might be fun to actually do some gold. I'm gonna get out. I've got a little metallic paint set here. Maybe you have something like Kuretake ones, or I also have like these art philosophy ones. You could do that. It just happens my gold is almost, well, I got quite a bit of gold, I guess, yet. I'm gonna go ahead and try these out. I haven't really used these yet. I'm gonna do this darker gold. All right, let's see. I see here I touched that green into the yellow and I've already got a little bit of a bleed. But all right, so I'm just gonna make like a little rectangle-y shape here at the top. You could do some gold gouache too, it would be really pretty. I'm already realizing I'm making this into a much more complicated card than it needed to be. All right, and they usually have a little circle hanger, so we'll just make a little circle going up the top, and that will be where our little string comes from. I'm going to try and just add a little bit of green back in here, and hopefully don't mess it up too much. I'm just going to blend that in. There we go. Now I got the green going into the yellow. Oh, darn. All right. Learn from my mistakes, people. Okay. Alright, I'm going to just go ahead and work on some of the other little bits I wanted to do here, which is just make some little kind of blobby colors, I guess. I'm just going to take some clean water and I'm just making some blobs of the colors around it. There's some green. Just kind of making a background. Try not to get that green and the red together too much. They get a little brown. Just try and make a quick little blurry background here. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and dry all of this so that I can move on to the next step. Alright, last little part I want to do is just add a little bit of paint splatters just to do some fun stuff in the background here. I'm just going to use the same 3 colors I did. I'm just going to kind of cover up my ornaments a little bit so they don't get splattered. I'm just tapping on my brush, and the more water you have on your brush, the bigger your splatters will be. I didn't completely avoid that, but that's okay. Alright, if you get some splatters on your ornaments and you don't want them, clean your brush off, get clean water, and then you can pick it up and wipe it on your paper towel. You don't want to have too much water. I can get most of that off of there. There we go. Some of the darker colors won't pick up as easily. I splattered paint all over myself as well. Alright, and last part to finish this off is to do some little black strings coming up. And we could do, make it look like a little tie on there. Just have it go off of the top of the page. Alright, and if you wanted to add a little sentiment down here at the bottom, we left enough space where we could write something like Season's Greetings or something on the bottom, so I'm just going to leave mine blank though. I'll just give this one quick dry before I'm finished. One little tip I'll just share with you there is I flip my paper over because when you start drying it, your paper might start curling up on you, but if you just flip it over and then dry the back side, it'll kind of correct itself so you won't have it warped as badly. So that's just a little tip if you're doing the drying. Okay, there we go. It's a fun little Christmas card. I hope you had fun painting along with me, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my upcoming tutorials. I'll have several more of these Christmas in July Christmas cards for you to paint along with me. Have fun!